It sounds like Nate wants to.
We're going to do a segment.
It's only
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Segment. Headphones.
Oh, sounds like Nate's going to do it, but I said him in
Left, right.
I think he should get first crack at it. Since he covers them. Well, he seemed like he'd do it. We're doing it live tonight, so I'm looking forward to it. It's the greatest ever. Just the greatest ever.
We'll start eventually.
Hour 3 of Judd and Dubay from the renterswarehouse.com studio. As promised, joined by Tom Peliserro. Tommy covers the Vikings for our website, 1500ESPN.com. Also, he hosts his own show, which you can hear most weeknights here, 6 to 8 p.m., 6 to 7 now with Phil Mackey, 7 to 8 solo. And last but not least, you have a Talking Twins tonight from 7 to 8. Is that correct?
8 to 9
8 to
p.m.
9.
After the coaches' shows.
you.
After the very controversial, I'm sure, Tubby Smith show tonight.
Well, we've got, it leads off at 6 o'clock with Lucia, who can talk about how bad the ice was in Chicago.
That was brutal, by the way.
It was a joke.
Bad hockey is what that was.
And you know what? What I said to Dubay is, if you can't get the ice better than that, then don't play.
Then don't do it. Then
You're
don't
going to
do
get
it.
somebody hurt.
Doesn't the novelty wear off to the point that eventually it's just a crappy hockey game with 3,000
Yes!
people in the seats?
Yes!
Plus, they stick the rink in the middle of the football field. That immediately, the moment I saw the photo of that irked me. Put it in a corner. Give someone a decent seat.
And you know who
Exactly.
did that? You know who put it in a corner? Lambeau. In fact, you probably lived there at the time in Green Bay. Ohio State played the Badgers.
I would think
I thought you were
anybody
going
would
to say
do that.
Baby's dad from Dirty Dancing put it in a corner.
Jerry Orbach.
Nobody puts the hockey rink in a corner.
Anyway,
Great line.
They put it in a corner of Lambeau Field, and they built temporary bleachers, and it was great. It actually worked, because then it felt like you were at a hockey game.
Well, any time that I've ever seen a basketball or hockey game in a football stadium, they always do that, so that you build two sections of temporary bleachers, and you don't have to build it all the way around. Instead, it's just this ice rink set in the middle, which I guess for TV purposes then looks like you're just playing in some backyard rink. Maybe that's the entire purpose of it, but if you want anyone to come to the game, what's Madison? 2.5 hour drive from Chicago.
Yeah.
South Bend's about a 2 hour drive. There was nobody. Nobody cares enough to actually go and show up and watch that.
Well, I think what they were counting on was getting people in from the alumni in Madison who moved to Chicago, right?
Sure.
And the Notre Dame alums. But here's the other factor to the whole game. I'm telling you, this was the factor. Big Ten Network's based in Chicago. Mm-hmm. They wanted a Big Ten matchup, and they wanted to sort of pump it up for themselves. That everything that's going on with hockey now that involves Big Ten teams is all about these people trying to make every last dollar they can of hockey, which of course doesn't make that much money when you compare it to basketball. And certainly not football.
Don't you love the Big Ten? The way that the Big Ten Network approaches hockey, they're never really breaking down the matchup. They're never giving you any insight you don't know. They're just talking about this great game of hockey that they want to introduce you to. Every promo for it's just like, watch the pucks whiz by. Watch guys hit each other.
You're right.
It's nothing like breaking down what's going to happen in the game. It's just, it's guys on skates.
And here's, what else is stupid?
You do the Muppets on Ice with the
you're
exact
dead right.
same promo.
You're dead right. How about when the bus pulls up to the bus stop and the four idiots jump up and start hitting their sticks on the ground? What is that?
I have no
What is
idea.
that? When do hockey players ever do that? Ever?
Hey.
No, but you're right. The promos are just really ridiculously
How
stupid.
sick, by the end of that game, how tired were you guys of hearing, too, this is what it's all about. This is where you started playing hockey. This is how you play it.
Yeah.
So you were telling me these college kids are enjoying, who are pretty good players, by the way, are enjoying basically trying to skate in quicksand, and Nate Schmidt almost breaks his leg.
Yeah, when
that's a
Nate
good idea.
Schmidt takes that digger in the corner, I mean, he goes down hard. I initially thought he might hit his neck into the boards, which is how a lot of guys suffer significant spinal injuries. Luckily, he just sort of lands on his shoulder and he limps off, but I really think at some point you get to a certain level and there's no nuance to it anymore. It's like interleague play in baseball. Eventually it's like, ooh, wow, I can see the Blue Jays play the Cardinals. Great. Again?
Hey, speaking of that, I got my 20-game Twin season ticket package in the mail yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I just canceled mine.
April visit. April visit by the New York Mets.
Yeah.
We're going to have interleague.
What are you talking about? It's going to be Pelfrey going against his old team. It's going to be intense. No one will be going there strictly to go to the bars.
The Mets are in like the
Santana homecoming. I got to get a line in once in a while so I get into the video. I'm going to stop doing this in a minute. It's just too hard.
All right.
It's too hard to do a radio show and do a video.
I didn't even realize what you were doing.
It's killing me. It's killing. We're multimedia, Judd and Dubay. Well, you should know. I mean, you're more multimedia than anybody. At this
I've
place.
never attempted to videotape myself while doing a radio.
Well, you're not as vain as we are.
That's a good point.
My right arm is so sore right now. It's unbelievable.
That was like that before the show.
No, trust me. My right arm's got some
knew that was
endurance.
coming.
My right arm's got some endurance to it.
Thanks, Jeff. All right, here's what we got. The Tubby Smith Show tonight is at 6:30. Gopher Sports Weekly with Norwood Teague at 7.
I can't do it
Pam
anymore.
Bolton at 7:30. And then, like you just said,